By using attack points, you can get your rhythms much better, even the difficult ones. What are attack points? Well, that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. Your piano teacher, Tim here, and to describe what an attack point is, let me show you an example. Okay, so here we have a simple rhythm. And what I mean by attack point is it's a moment where you're going to attack or move on to the next note. So when we have a simple rhythm, or any difficult rhythm rather, and it starts on beat 1, 99.9% of the students can hit a note on beat 1. All you do is when you're counting to come in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then you play the note that you're supposed to be playing on beat 1. It seems like every student gets that. However, not every student knows on when to attack the next beat. So right here, we have to plan. That's like the worst question mark I've ever seen. But right here, we have to plan our attack. So what we're going to do is we are going to write out the beats. So a dotted quarter note, if you don't know, is going to take up 3 halves of a beat because it gets 1.5 beats. Remember that when we're splitting up beats into the number, you have 4 beats in a measure, which is what the time signature tells you. And whenever you're breaking up beats into halves, you're using the terms and. So the number and. So 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. Each of those represents half of a beat. So therefore, this dotted quarter gets 1 and 2, and our point of attack is going to be the and right here. So like I said, it's really easy to hit the first note on beat 1, right? But we're going to really plan that attack the next note on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then make sure that we are holding the note before for the correct amount. Like I said, it's really easy to hit a note on the beat, but it's always the question of when to move on. And then, of course, with the quarter notes here, we have 3 and, 4 and, because those both get a complete beat each with, the 3 and the and combining to make each beat. So our total rhythm here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we nailed it just perfect. Let's do another quick example. Okay, so now we have a half note followed by a dotted quarter note and then an eighth note. So hopefully you know, if you're watching this lesson, that a half note gets 2 beats. So it's going to get 1 and, that's a complete beat, and then it's going to get 2 and, that's another complete beat. However, I should actually space these out a little bit better. There you go. And then, however, beat 3, right, is where that dotted quarter note hits. Well, that's pretty easy. So far we have 1 and 2 and 3. And now we have to plan our point of attack here. Most likely, if you're a student, you're probably going to struggle with where to hit that last note. So here we go. We have a dotted quarter again. So that's going to take up beat 3. That's 1 half. It's going to take up and. That's another half. It's going to take up 4. So that's another half. So therefore, we have 3 halves right there. Half, half, half. So that's perfectly amount. So our attack point, what we're shooting for right here, is on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And what I like to do is actually accent the attack point so that you're really thinking about when to attack. Okay, so here we have a rhythm that does not begin on beat 1. So therefore, I would plan your attack point for this note right here, this eighth note, on when to attack and start playing your notes. So what you got to know, though, is that an eighth rest, which is this guy, gets half of a beat, which is going to be on beat 1. So on beat 1, you're not going to play. So therefore, our attack point is going to be where? It's actually going to be on the and of 1, since that's the second half, complete half of the first beat. So 1 and. So far, hopefully you got it. And then just charting out the rest of the beats, this is 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. So here we go. Our attack point is right here. That's probably where we would mess up if we messed up at all. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The first time I played it, I was a little sluggish getting here on the 2. So in my mind, I'm going to kind of plan another attack point right there. So just really concrete in my mind that we are moving to that quarter note right on beat 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I didn't struggle with the rest, so no need to plan an attack point right there. Okay, let's talk about some more examples. Okay, now we have another simple rhythm here using 16th notes. If you don't know, a 16th note is when you break up a note into 4 parts. So we have 1, just like before, that's where our beat's hitting, pretty easy. And then we also have the and. So keep in mind that with 8th notes, we were splitting the beat up into 2 halves with the number 1 and plus half. But now we have to split it up into 4 parts. So we still have 1 and. We're just going to fit in 2 more parts, and this is called 1E and a. 1E and a. And now that's 4 parts. That's still 1 beat. That's still equal to a quarter note. Same thing, these guys. Okay, so now, since you know how to count 16th notes, your question or your attack point is probably going to be right here, right after that rest. That's probably, if you're likely to mess up, where it's going to happen. So what we're going to do is we need to figure out what beat that is on. So we have our 8th rest again. So our 8th rest is going to hit beat 2. And then, of course, just because that's an 8th rest, it takes up half of a beat. Our second half is going to be right here. A lot of students ask me, can you still count the 2E andas, or the number, and then, you know what I mean, the 2E anda? Yes, you can. Just keep in mind that the rest is going to take up 2E, and that the 8th note is going to take up anda. I know it sounds like a different language here, but if that helps you kind of keep a consistent tempo. And then this would be 3E and 4E and a. The only difference would be that you're not hitting a note on each of these. You're just hitting the quarter note, 3E and 4E and just like that. So here we go. I'm going to count out the whole rhythm. We're going to plan our attack point right here for that 2. And actually, how about we also, or not even the 2, we're actually planning really hitting that and then let's plan another one for that 3. So I'm just going to count out real quick the whole measure broken up into 16th notes, which is 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. I'm going to accent this and right here and this 3 because that's our attack point. That's when we will be hitting our notes there. So I'm just going to say it again, and I'm just going to put a little more emphasis on the and then that beat 3. So here we go. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. So now that I've kind of mapped it out in my mind, I'm just going to go to the piano, and I'm going to count out the rhythm here and play it. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. One more time. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. And of course, you can try counting it even faster. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. Just like that. I know it's a mouthful, but that's how you plan your attack points. Now let's talk about combination rhythms using 16th notes. By the way, if you don't know how to count these 16th note rhythms and the quarter note rhythms, I'm going to include a link to a lesson or a playlist in the description to catch you up. I also have some courses over on my website, which I'll talk about here at the end. Okay, so now we have this mixed rhythm with 16th notes and 8th notes. So beat 1's obviously going to hit there. It always hits there, unless it's some kind of pickup measure, but never mind that for now. And so it takes up 1. So if we're breaking this up into 1, E, and right, that makes 1 complete beat. By the way, when notes are, you may not know, but when notes are beamed together, like they are up here, that's usually to signify that together they equal one beat. Usually, like 95% of the time. I didn't know that for the longest time. So you can figure out where the beats are. Just being like, oh, they're beamed together. That's one beat total. So beat one's here. E and because each of these now is worth a quarter. There's a quarter, which is what the 16th note is worth. And then, of course, 2 quarters for that half of a beat right there. So that's how I mapped those out. So in this measure, where do you think your attack point should be? Your attack point should be right here, because you're going to hit that beat 1, no problem. You're probably going to miss the E and then you know what? I would have planned another attack point for that and then I would also plan another one for this, what is it, like 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So here we go. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I really nailed it. Now you may have to go slower. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So as you can see, by planning an attack point when you're going to move on to that next note, you can get even complicated rhythms a bit easier. Let's take a look at just a few more examples. Okay, so here we have another rhythm with mixed 8th notes and 16th notes. Based on what I just told you, how do you figure out where, well, obviously this will hit on beat 1, right? But how do you know where beat 2 will be, right? Because we have a lot of notes there. We have an 8th and then 2 16ths. Or remember what I said earlier, whenever they're beamed across together like this in a grouping, that equals one complete beat. So therefore, this right here, this quarter note, has to be beat 2. So we can kind of do some of the legwork just using that knowledge that I gave you. A lot of people don't know about that, even though it's pretty simple. And I didn't know about it till it was like 22, 24. No, like 22 maybe, 21. Anyway, so we got this 8th note here. This is going to take up 1 E because that takes up 2 quarters of a beat for half of a beat. You have to be really good at fractions, I know. And right here, and then 2, 3, and oh hey, we have a rest here. This is going to be obviously beat 4, and then right there. Okay, let me chart out like the rest of the beats. Like I said, a lot of people like it when I keep saying the full 2E and a 3 and a thing. So that's what we're going to do, because that helps you count consistently. And then the parentheses just show how much of those that each of those beats takes up. And I guess I'll parentheses all of them, even though it's looking kind of crazy now. Okay, there we go. So where should we plan our attack points? Well, not beat 1, right? You know where to hit beat 1. You just count 1 and hit the note. Pretty easy. I would plan an attack point right here. I might even plan an attack point right there. I would definitely plan an attack point right here for beat 2. Beat 3, you're probably going to be able to hit no problem in most cases. I would plan an attack point right here to be able to hit that ANDA. So you're going to hit the, no, I'm not going to circle those two. It's going to be too messy. But anyway, all the arrows are my points of attack where I'm planning on moving to that next note. So here we go. I'm going to go nice and slow and count these out. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And if it helps you, go through like I did a few examples ago and count out all the beats except accent your points of attack or put emphasis on them. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So you're kind of pointing out in your mind where they're going to be. So a little bit faster, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So there you go. So if you don't know, a tie is when you tie two of the same note together for their rhythm to combine their total beat value. So you have a half note worth 2. You have another half note worth 2. You have another half note worth 2. We're just going to do 4 half notes all in a row, and we're going to tie them together. Okay, so now we have a simple rhythm here with some ties. So this is obviously going to take up beats 1 and 2, or 1, 2. I didn't mean to say the and there. You can continue to count out 1E and 2E and, or sorry, it gets 2 beats. So it's 1E and 2E and if you want. But because we're just dealing with half notes, you can just actually just count 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then this is going to get beats 1, 2, because we're in a new measure, 3, 4. Okay, so where should our attack points be? Well, this beat 1 here you probably don't really need because you know how to do that. I would plan for your attack point to be here on beat 3. And then how about on beat 1? Do we need an attack point? Well, no, actually, because the whole point of the tie is that we're tying over from beat 3 and ending on beat 2, since we're tying half note worth 2 plus another half note worth 2 for a total of 4. And then maybe you want to do an attack point here on beats 3 and 4. So this example is actually a little bit easier. I just want to show you how it works with ties, that if you have a tie over a measure, you don't need to plan an attack point on that first beat or however long that first note hits. It's always the note after that where you're going to be moving on to another note, okay, or playing a new note. So here we go. I'm going to count it out nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, when you're playing this in a real context, you don't have to hit the note so hard on the attack point, but I find that it really helps, especially when you're just getting used to this. So what did you think about the attack points technique? Let me know in the comments. I want you to practice this. I want you to go through those difficult rhythms in your pieces, chart out where each beat hits, and then plan your point of attack, and let me know how that works out in the comments. It's really actually been helping me. Something I've been using a long time, but I really haven't put it into words until recently. If you're new to learning rhythms and you need to brush up on them, I highly recommend you check out this lesson right here. Check out this playlist right here to get practice on actually putting these rhythms into practice. So this has been your piano teacher, Tim, here from Piano Lessons on the Web. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'm going to see you in that next lesson.